It's August 30th, 2023. I'm over here at my alma mater, Newport Harbor High School, and today's going to be a very special day subbing today. Very excited to be here. The reason why today is special is because I am in the classroom of a teacher who was here in this classroom when I was a student here all 4 years. I met him in freshman year some 14 years ago. So we know each other quite well. I didn't have him as a teacher, but we know each other quite well. So the first class is going to be Algebra, and I taught out of this Algebra book for my student teaching. So about a year ago, I taught these same lessons. It's been a year, but I reviewed it early this morning, so it should be relatively easy. And this time I'm going to do 2 lessons in one day. So this is the actual workbook with all my notes and everything. And so far, being here has been wonderful. I ran into my former RSP teacher and other staff who were here as if I've never left 10 years ago. And then walking here, I run into another math teacher whom I know of very well, but didn't have. And then I was unlocking the door and entering, and a person said, "Hi, Mr. Kenslow," so recognizing me from Ensign. So can't wait for the day. And that was just wonderful. First class already ended, and it was the most joyous experience, kind of. A bit more silent than the honors students at Ensign, but I got to teach these 2 lessons again, and it was just wonderful. It brought me back. I got some engagement, and I did a brand new out of this world card trick at the end, and it was just wonderful. A few people recognized me or remembered me from Ensign. And it was just an excellent day. And now the next 2 periods are AP Statistics, and I'm not sure if I could help with that as much. It depends. I have to see what Unit 1 is about, but I could try and help. At least, I know Algebra, and it was very fun. And that's a wrap to a wonderful day. It was so wonderful to be back. The last 2 classes were AP Statistics again, and they were mostly seniors, if not all seniors, and they enjoyed the card trick, the brand new card trick, as much as the freshmen did. And for statistics, they just had assignments in their textbook, just homework assignments for a couple of sections, and it was like Unit 1, so pretty much easy stuff like mean, median, mode, and then quartiles, interquartile range, and all that fun stuff. And it's like, okay, raise your hand if you need help. So I rarely got help, just a little bit, but and then the rest of the time I was either twiddling my thumbs or I was reviewing statistics and everything. But other than that, it was very good. One of the first students that I ran across today actually recognized me not from Ensign, but from T-Winkle, about 4.5 miles away. As I was walking around during nutrition and lunch, like from point A to point B, I kept getting stopped like a half dozen times or more from groups of students just wanting to say hi again because they remembered me from Ensign either last year or even 2 academic years ago, and they just wanted to say hi and see if I still remember their birthday. Yes, I do, most of them. And not only students, but also security who still remember me from 10 years ago. I was actually trying to run into the principal at the same time, so I got to do so, and we're planning to sit down and discuss, hopefully, for me to do some form of an assembly. My hope and heart and dream is that it would be for all 2,000 plus students here, but time would tell. I am actually going to be in Irvine Unified again, doing a juggling assembly for PK to 6. It's going to be divided into 4 assemblies, just like I did at College Park Elementary and Irvine Unified last year, so that will be fun. And real quick about the students in the statistics classes, I asked if any of them had my mentor teacher when they were at Ensign, and a few of them raised their hand, and I'm like, your teacher at Ensign was my mentor teacher for a couple of semesters last year. And all 3 periods, as they were exiting, they were all saying thank you, Mr. Kenslow, or thank you, and have a great day and such. So that's very reassuring. And speaking about statistics in general, that's actually what I was studying yesterday. So yesterday I completed my summer assignments for Vanguard University, which actually starts back today at 4:30 via Zoom, and I'm doing the online cohort. So mostly I'll be online the next 2 semesters, my final 2 semesters for a Master's of Art in Education degree. And we had all these summer assignments, all of these reading about theory and assessment, and all of these words like ontology, epistemology, axiology, and learning what those mean and everything. And we had several articles and chapters to read, and we had 9 or 10 papers to write this summer. So I just completed that yesterday, and the last chapter that I had to read was all about statistics, was specifically statistics in research for a master's degree. But it wasn't as easy as Unit 1 stuff, but it was interesting nonetheless. And all around this room are dozens of posters and images of Albert Einstein all around here. And I remember when I was a student here and coming in this room and saying hi to the teacher and everything, there's at least a couple of posters of Einstein that is still here from when I was a student here. So I believe at least a couple of those posters behind me. And gosh darn it, I remember to say this for the first statistics class, but this past statistics class, I forgot to tell them, like, you're doing a wonderful thing taking statistics early on, because if I had the chance to do life over again, I definitely would have done that. I would have probably taken statistics after algebra or trigonometry, because it would have really helped me out, like when I was taking the upper like chemistry courses, like physical chemistry, thermodynamics, kinetics, analytical chemistry, whole bunch of statistics there. It's the first day of September 2023. I'm over here at Newport Heights Elementary. I'm subbing a third grade, I believe, long story short, and this is the place I went to for 4 years. And here's the explanation. Apparently, Frontline said it was 5th grade, and then I recognized the teacher's name, and I'm like, no, he teaches 3rd grade. I actually subbed for him last year. And so I looked up Newport Heights website, and yes, he's 3rd grade. And so I was confirming that this morning, and she's like, no, he's 5th grade now. I'm like, okay, well this time Frontline was right and the website was wrong, so they'll update it. And I'm sure I probably know every single one of these students, unless there's a new student or a person who was absent, because I subbed for both 4th grade classes last year, so they're all 5th grade now. And the past couple of academic years that I subbed for them, they all like the tricks, so I can't wait for the day to start. It's Friday and we're starting with Flag Day. And well, so far so good. I mean, the day's going well so far. They're in science, and then after that's ST math. After that is math. All morning this morning, several students, whether they were in line or at flag deck or after flag deck, were just pointing me out, just saying hi and everything, and pointing me out to their classmates, like he's the person that juggles or he's the person that does magic, well, quote unquote magic and everything. All the teachers, there's a lot of teachers there saying hi to me, teachers who were here when I was a student here, and then teachers I met through subbing, so it's great to be back. In fact, one of the students that came up to me said that his older sister is now in high school, specifically Newport Harbor High School, where I was just at. I'm class of 2013 there, so I know him and his sister. I knew his sister at Ensign Intermediate School the past couple of academic years, and I've seen the younger brother many times when, like, I'm a sub here. Sometimes we run into each other at Heller Park. In fact, just yesterday evening I was walking around the neighborhood and I was by Heller Park, and all of a sudden I hear very loud, "Hello, YouTuber," and I turned around and this student was waving at me. And so today I was taking my class back here, and another class was going the other way, and he was like, "Hey, I saw you at the park yesterday." So very friendly school here. The 5th graders are almost impeccable. They're very, very great, very, very respectful, just a little bit chatty, but other than that, it's completely silent. I just did a little math lesson before science class, and I did the trick where I had a post-it note on a card, and I flicked it, and the writing on the post-it note changed. So that's one of my new tricks. And then later I could make something appear, as well as another trick where I can make something vanish. So when they get back to science or right before lunch, I'll ask, so do you want to see something appear or see something vanish, and see how it goes. Other than that, great day so far. Can't wait for the rest of the day. And that's a wrap. The rest of the day went well. The students liked all the new tricks and the juggling at the end. And then we concluded with PE outside. They ran a couple of laps and then just played on the jungle gym. And in the meantime, there's a whole group of students surrounding me from this year and last year, just wanting to see more card tricks, and they just could not believe how I did the card tricks, and a couple suspected, had all these different theories of how I did the card tricks, and I'm not saying yes or no if you're right. I'm just keeping them in suspense and such. I've heard this from others, including teachers, that they kept on overhearing their students say, oh, like the magic man's back, and I always disclaim knowing real magic, but again, every time I'm here at Newport Heights, I feel welcomed. I got to also see the principal earlier today and asked her. She got my email from a few weeks ago, so she'll be checking on that. I'm hoping to do an assembly here, hopefully in every other school in NMUSD and beyond. But other than that, the last thing that was sticking out today were the clouds. So I'm not an expert, but it seemed like today we had altocumulus clouds and higher cirrocumulus clouds. And then they kept on disappearing and alternating and such, so it was a very beautiful day today. And last night we had like a very fiery sunset of, I believe, outer cumulus, if I remember correctly. And I got to append this real quick. It is September 2nd, 2023, and 20 years ago today, one score ago today, was my first day here as a student, 3rd grade, and I was here for 4 years. September 2nd, 2003, and I'll never forget that first day. And that first day of 3rd grade, I remember way back in the field behind me, that teacher of mine who still works there today, I saw him yesterday. He introduced me to all of his former students from like the year prior, just to make sure that I have friends at this new school and that I get to know a lot more people. And if there's one thing I remember from that first day, I actually remember a few, but at lunchtime, before those were monkey bars behind me, there's a glider. And one person like tapped the glider toward me and it hit me on the forehead, and I spent the next hour or so in the nurse's office and got a big bump afterward. But other than that, I really enjoyed the first day of 3rd grade. And I still have this. It was in our time capsule. I believe we filled this out on the first day of 3rd grade, and it's like our age, best friend, favorite food, singer, color, TV show, and all that. And toward the end of the year in June 2004, we opened it and filled it out again, see what changed or see what remained the same. So if you are aspiring to become a teacher yourself or any other profession, disability or not, you could do it. You could do it if you set your heart and mind to it and you discipline yourself. I have autism. I'm not giving up on what my dreams are, what my goals are, and part of my goal is teaching, and my other goal is encouraging so many people around the world that everyone has a purpose. And I'm a proponent of inclusion, and I believe that everyone could do whatever they set their heart and mind to. So thank you so much for watching and for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.